Hello everybody and welcome to this playthrough for Master Division in the Gridiron tournament. The video here is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic, so let's go. Gonna start off with hole number 1, and here you can see I play with an Apocalypse level 6, and I'm going to go max top spin here, as you can see. And I'm going to also back down a little, or like pull my target a little bit back down. Going to be okay playing in around 4 + 4, 5, 3 yards. There is many ways to play this drive in a good way, and I'm going to choose there. I did reduce some topspin as well. We don't need max topspin if we are not going to go like full blast overpower in any form. Slight curl left. And then we're going to put ourselves straight. I do adjust for an over adjustment with 10% with max numbers from that position. We land ourselves very nicely. We come to a yardage that is going to be 347. I would like to get around 360. That is going to be perfect in my opinion. Before I take my second shot, do not forget to check down in the video description down below. There you can find links such as like go to patreon.com/golfclashtommy to book a training session. You maybe want to get the updated text guides, then you can get them through patreon.com/golfclashtommy. Also, do not forget to subscribe to the channel, be a sub, hit that bell button, then you will get a notification every time there is a live stream or there is a new video coming up. There is a lot of content coming up, maybe also a website that is going to help improve your game even more. So, now let's go shot number 2, and we're going to play with the sniper here. This is a very short par 5, so it's important to pack the snipers. You do get a very good accuracy and you do get a very good ball guideline to follow. We are in basically min/mid distance of our club, like minimum/medium distance of our club. You can see here that we're trying to look for a spot where the ball guideline is going to help us to fall down towards the pin in a nice way. And you can see here now I'm getting there, aiming slightly to the left there of the pin, and then we're going to take our shot, of course. 11.8 in between min and mid. It's going to be like without any elevation adjustment. It's going to be around 11 yards in terms of adjustment. And we hit it perfect, which is going to come in pretty nicely. I'll see how it bounced. It bounced 1 time, 2 times, and then it basically dies. It rolls down though towards the pin, but we having no way near enough speed for the ball to roll down towards the pin. Here is a very good opportunity, I would say, for an albatross. Now we come to hole number 2. Hole number 2 is a must eagle, and when I say must eagle, I really mean it. And then I'm going to give you some hints here. I'm going to play a kingmaker. It's straight tailwind, as much side spin to the right as possible. With wind below 11, I play 4.5 bar backspin. If I would be having wind like below 10.5, I would be playing slightly less than 4.5. If I would be playing with wind above 11, I would be playing in 5 bars of backspin. If I would be having a wind above like 12 in some form, then I would be playing with 5.5. The thing that I want to achieve here is that I do want this ball to just land there nicely on the green. I'm okay with that the ball takes the rough there on the top and land on the fringe, but I don't want to go long for 2 reasons. First, that we do have a bunker that is behind the pin or like past the pin. Then we do have also the risk of having a very long putt. So if we do get to the bottom right, we have a putt that we do have to overpower, and that is going to be very tough to make something good about of that. So I'm very happy with that shot, and that it's going to give myself an easy putt, and I'm going to secure the eagle. Once again, this is a must eagle, so if we miss on this one, then we have some catch up to do. So we putt it in, and gonna be happy with the result here. Important is to tweak the backspin depending on the wind, as of course, so close, as of course the stronger wind we're having, the longer bounce we're going to get, and also the further we're going to travel, because I'm going to let my ball or like my position be in max distance of my club, like in every type of situation, even if I have a higher wind. Hole number 3. Now we're going to play with the rock. And the rock is going to be played with the white train just slightly inside the bunker there on the bottom with 1 bar of backspin. And the important part here now is that we cannot change and adjust for the wind from the other direction, then we will not be able to see the target for the hill there. Here, of course, grid lines, for those of you that are using Android, has a huge advantage to get the angle straight. I adjusted for 1-on-1, which means that 9.3 rings for 9.3 miles per hour. Pulled down my target just a tiny little bit in the end, as we do go up to a higher elevation point and therefore going to gain more distance. Coming in very, very nicely. A little bit too much to the left. We might have to move our target, or we need to apply a tiny, tiny little bit of side spin to the right. So, this is a tough hole. I suggest that you do play with a ball that has a little bit of wind resistance. Have in mind though that if you're going to play like this, you do want to have at least power 1 on your ball, as you otherwise are going, depending on how the angle of the wind is. If it is slightly more headwind than we have here, then you're going to be in between clubs, and that is going to be, of course, tough, and that's something that we do want to stay away from. So the ultimate ball would be the eyeball, in my opinion. Wind 5, wind resistance 5, and power 1, and also side spin 2, but side spin doesn't really matter. Aiming up there on the hill there is going to be a tough one, as going up there to the hill is going to extend, of course, the flight path and travel further than my opponent was expecting, and that's why the wrestle became as it was there. Hole number 4, and now again it's a must eagle. And a must eagle here, and I'm going to use a pretty simple method here. 5.5 bar top spin, and that is the spin that I'm going to go with every single time, except for if I'm having wind that is stronger than 15.5. Otherwise, I'm going to play 5.5. You can see here I'm putting my target into the position of the creek there, and then we're going to go with some curl. Be aware of here that you're using side spin to the right, you're using curl to the right, and therefore like you cannot miss great right as well, and this is going to be dangerously close to getting. We get into the center there and we bounce right, and we're coming in just out there on the fairway, and we're going to have no problem to make it eagle, but dangerously close to hitting the rough there in the end. I might going to reduce side spin when I play this one the next time. You can also see that with a 14.7 in wind, I used a tiny bit of overpower still, and that I did because I do want to have, like, the ultimate win for me here would be 15.2, 15.3. Then it would be okay. If I have win below 14, we do need to go with a little bit of overpower, as we do want the ball to, we do want to make sure that the ball is going to carry over to the fairway there. But with trying here, I do believe that we either have to reduce the curl a little bit, or we have to reduce the side spin. The curl, like hitting there as our opponent did, absolutely perfect bounce again, rolling out, very, very nice shot, even though he didn't get that far, but still a very easy thing that is going to be for an eagle there. So that is that minor tweak, and I'm going to see how I'm going to do. I like go with half a ball of curl, but I don't want to go with half a ball of curl for like the risk of putting myself too much to the right and going to the sandpit, which otherwise is going to be, unfortunately, a risk that we will have to take. But we do go for the green all day and every day with this type of wind, and as hole number 2, it's a must eagle. We need to eagle this one, and also hole number 2. So we're gonna, our opponent's going to wedge this one in as well, and we're going to be super happy with starting off with an eagle on hole number 2 and an eagle on hole number 4. And there, when we do that, we are on the pace for a minus 14. And minus 14 is going to be, in my opinion, a par score. I do believe that we will have to find a general minus 15 times 2. So a minus 30 needs to be the score here that we're going to aim for. So now it's time to play hole number 5, and I would say that this is going to be the absolute toughest one in this tournament, as for the drive is so crucial. With this type of wind as well, we're definitely not giving anything like any help from the wind. Like when we had this in the last 2, well, like we have had this whole 2 tournaments before, and those 2 tournaments has been straight tailwind. So we'll have to go just full blast overpower, try to go over to the other part of the fairway, and then we have a go for the albatross here. I would say that I'm not going to go for the albatross here. I'm just going to lay up, just going to lay up, make an easy shot, and then go for the pin. I'm going to play this one with a power 3 ball, and which is going to be a kingmaker. As for, I do want to have the side spin as well. You can see here I'm playing with as almost max with 3.5 bars top spin, and I'm going to aim at the +4 yard mark. And also going to use the ring here, you can see the white ring, to just be inside the tree, like one of the tree there you can see or on the left. If you would be playing with Apocalypse level 6, you use the white ring inside the tree, like inside the tree root or whatever it's going to be called. Then I'm going to play this one for being in between mid and max numbers. So if it is 10 miles per hour you're going to adjust for, then you're going to adjust, if it is 10 rings for max, if it 8 rings for mid, then you play 9 rings. That's an easy example. Coming in here very nicely, we could have got with a little bit more top spin, but it is okay. I would say, like, for the next time, I might going to play this one with a power 4 ball, or even maybe a power 5 ball, to gain as much distance as possible, so we're not coming into a situation where we have to overpower the second shot. This shot here that we're going to do is not fun. It's not fun at all. And the reason for that is that the trees are in play. We will have to play on the left side, so we have a very thin line to go directly to the pin. So I would suggest you to just play this one for the green. I'm not seeing us doing any albatross here. If you do an albatross, it's going to be the luck of the bounce. So that is something that I do believe we need to think of when we play this one. So only focus, get it to green, be happy, and then just take it from there. Hit it perfect though, or like our opponent hits it perfect. And you can see here it's coming in nicely on the green. Don't have to do more than that. I think if we push it too hard going for the pin, I think in the end it's going to be more problems than it's going to be albatross, if I say like that. You can see we are not in a position that we do want. I'm going to use a minor type of backspin, as I'm just going to make sure that it's going to stay on the green, even if I come in a little bit hot, but the green is shaped like a little bit like a bowl. So it's going to fall down and give myself a very easy putt in the end. Tiny bit of side spin to the left. I'm not going to overuse the side spin to the left, as once again we're going to be we don't want to go for the pin, even though it is a bit tempting. When we do adjust here as well, you're going to be able to sometimes drop down into the sand that is there. Then you need to push your target up a little bit or use a little bit more overpower than expected. The shot as well is played uphill, so we need to subtract 10%, so we take off 10%, or like if we use any type of help tool, we use minus 10% on that. The drive is plus 10%. Hole number 6, and here you can see myself doing a good shot, but it could have been better. I'm going to play it in the center here. I've seen some videos of that, combined with that I'm mixing a little bit myself with trying a lot of different approaches, and I think that I came to the conclusion, I've been coming to the conclusion myself that this is the way that I'm going to play it. I don't like to play it on the side in headwind as just a little worse bounce than normal. Then we're going to go very short. You can see here I'm aiming slightly left of the pin, as we're going to have a natural push to the right. Then we're going to adjust upwards, and that sucks. I'm going to adjust 6 rings, but you can see I'm coming over to the rocket here, as I do have as a driver, so we do need to use a tiny bit of overpower there in the end, which is not good. We hit the great left, which also tell me in this case that we are going to want to reduce the side spin a little bit more, and also use a power 1 ball. If we use a power 1 ball with win 5 like the eyeball again, then that's going to be perfect. If you do want to play with a kingmaker in this one, then you're going to have to play it on the side and then bounce yourself up. You can also play with a like the Santa ball here or other wind balls if you do want to play on the sides also. But I'm going to stick with the center for now. I think that's going to be the best way oh no, don't play with the Santa ball on the side, sorry, Kingmaker on the side. And then it's a tough hole, it's a tough par 3, and if we just can make it count, like we need to get the spin adjustment right, but most especially we cannot overpower a shot like both me and my opponent does, and that is why that is the reason I do that, is because I do have a win 5 but power 0, so I don't have any extra power, so a power 1 is going to be absolutely necessary. Hole number 7. Hole number 7 is also going to be tough. I like the fact that we're having this type of wind here. I'm going to play with a power 5 ball, which is a Gridiron ball. The Gridiron ball with the max backspin, which is 7 bars here on the Apocalypse level 7. Using a bit of the red ring inside rough there at the plus 6 yard mark. And of course as much side spin to the right as possible, which is 2.5 rings, 2.5 bars. Then we're going to adjust. We adjust this one for around 11 rings, which is going to be in between mid and max. You can see here as well that I'm going with around 80% of the ball outside to the right there. Hit it great on the right as well, and that helped out in this case, but of course we need to make sure that we hit the ball perfect. Doesn't really matter if you're going to hit it perfect or great, or the thing that I mean is that it doesn't really matter if you're going to get a little bit more to the left. As for the approach that we're going to do now, we're going to be no problem. Why do you wonder, why would I be playing with a power 5 ball here, like the Gridiron ball? The reason for that is for the second shot. We don't need it for the drive, and I know there is a possibility to curl it over to the fairway on the right, but I'm going to not do that. I don't feel that that curl shot is going to give me the thing that I do want. Especially for if I do get into the rough or into the sand, I cannot reach for the green as for the wind that we're going to have. If we would be having tailwind, I would be going and try to get over to the right. But you know me as a more conservative player in terms of like risk and reward factor. I don't like the fact, I don't like the risk and reward being there. Like as just a bad shot, we're going to be in the sand or in the rough, and from this position we have no chance whatsoever to reach for the green. So, my turn. I'll play with the Guardian here, and you can play with Cataclysm as well if you want to, or Big Dog. We do want to have a backspin approach that is 4.5. And we're going to go with 1 bar of side spin to the right in this example. But I would like to play with more. I do need more. We do need to compensate a lot for this bounce that we're going to have. And that is something that I will have to remember, as I need to go max side spin, but I also need to move my target a little bit more further up. You can see the power 5 ball come very, very handy here, as we're coming almost up into max, absolute max position. And this shot, the second shot, we over adjust for 10%. You can see here now we bounce where we want to, but we're dropping left due to the push that we do get from the bounce. So we need to compensate for that push a lot. But I'm very, very happy with finding that way to make a consistent birdie on hole number 7. Hole number 8. Here I'm going to make it very, very simple for me. Sure, I could pull out a win 5 ball, but I think we have had enough of win 5 balls so far in this playthrough, and we need to play, and I'm going to play with a Kingmaker. I'm going to play Sniper as well, like my opponent, and I do have a pretty simple reference to work with here. And just to have in mind, the importance with hole number 8 is to understand that you can play this one many different ways with really good result. You can go directly at the pin, you can use the slope, and there's going to be possibilities with both. I haven't really decided what to do. I'm going to try to go straight. I'm going to try to continue to play like this. But I do like this way with the slope here to see where we're going to land in the end. Or like not land, but like what the result is going to be in the end for us. So here we do have 11.4, and when we do play here, I'm going to pull it up to max target with the white ring just inside the bunker on the right, on the left there. 2 bars of side spin to the right, and then we're going to adjust 1 and 1 plus 1 ring. So For the 11.4 wind, we're going to adjust 12.4. I'm only going to be focused to be having the white ring down into the sand, and also of course my target in a target like around the fringe area, and then pull it back. We do go max, what can I say, we do not go with any curl whatsoever. The ball is going to bounce on the fairway. We're gonna come up there and it's going to fall down towards the pin, and it's going to be very, very close to one hole in one. The reason we do want to aim that close to the front is that we're going to then have enough speed from the slope to fall down towards the pin. So, last but not least, we're going to play hole number 9. Hole number 9, I would say that it would be good if you play with a power 4 ball, but if you don't have some power 4 ball, or you just don't want to play with them, then you play with a power 3 ball. The only difference is that you will have to go with a little bit more overpower with a power 3 ball than you do with a power 4 ball. So, let's see here what Alex is going to do. He's going to take his time at least. So, okay, so first and foremost, the elevation adjustment here, downhill 20%. Very important. So, when you play downhill, the ball is going to be affected a lot. For those of you that play with Apocalypse level 7, can make it easy for you. You play the wind one-on-one. So, if you do have a wind that is 15, you played 15 rings. If you do have a wind that is 13, you played 13 rings. So, that's with Apoc 7. Other than that, because that is maximum distance with a 20% over adjustment is one-on-one with Apocalypse level 7. But with other clubs it's different. That's why I wanted to be clear with that. So I'm going to make it, again, simple for me. I'm going to drag it out, having the blue ring just by the rough there to... Then we're going to adjust 5. Then we do have 10. And then we're going to go 14.2. Or like 14. 14.2 is hard to do like that. Then tiny bit of overpower and also around 50%, 60% curl outside to the right. I like to go with a little bit more curl though, as in this case we're going to cut the rough, as we went a little bit short as well. But we still roll out and we're going to have a sniper for the pin. So we can tweak that one and do it and make it a little bit better. I like the way that we're playing it, and I like the way that we're playing with a firework ball as well. Has wind resistance too. Sure, it's going to be tough to ship it in from distance, but it definitely helps out with the drive. If you play with a power 3 ball, I can say again, instead of saying using more overpower than I'm using with a power 4 ball, go with max overpower instead. So we're not going to try to do something in between, we go with max overpower. Our opponent bounce over here, and of course from this position here it's going to be very tough to drop this one, even though it's in short iron range. So 12.4, and here you can see I'm having the tsunami in my bag as well for the backspin. I'm going to play max backspin sniper, and in this case I'm aiming, what can see like slightly like 1.5 a square to the left of the pin. I would like to go with a little bit more now when I see this one afterwards, go with around 1. And then we're going to be in minimum distance, and we're also going to adjust for minimum distance with a 10% over adjustment, which in this case is going to give ourselves sorry, we're not doing that. We're actually adjusting 12.5 rings, so that is going to come in left, I believe. Yeah, it will. So we needed to play it not one-on-one. Minimum distance with 10% over adjustment. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this playthrough for Master Division. I believe we're going to see minus 30 in all the brackets in the weekend round. This guide should be at least very helpful for you to get the minus 14. That is the par score. Sure, we need to hit it perfect, need to be a little bit lucky with the bounces when it comes to tailwind, but overall super happy to see these courses in Master. If you do have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. If you do want to get updated text, guys, you check out patreon.com/golfclashtommy. The video here is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. Good luck in the Gridiron tournament.